Hey there, everybody. I am King 5 meteorologist Leah Pizzetti. It is Saturday evening, and it is a gorgeous day so far. Here are a couple looks around Western Washington as of this Saturday evening. A lot of blue sky out there. The sun is shining, so is the water there in Bellingham. Oh my goodness, it is just beautiful this weekend. We do have a couple high-level clouds. Cirrus clouds are out there. Those are fair weather clouds. Those are not doing anything to impact our forecast, but overall, just so spectacular out there. I hope everybody has found excuses to get outside this weekend. Temperatures for today are still above average. We're sitting in this sweet spot, depending on where you are, anywhere from about 5 to 8 degrees warmer than normal for this time of year. And we talk about normal, so that is the average temperature that we usually see on this day. The average high is what we're talking about here. So 70s are normal for this time of year. 80s are warmer than normal. There you go, simple math. So yes, we are seeing temperatures today in the low to mid 80s, and that's a little bit warmer than normal, but we're gonna jump even farther above normal as we head into Sunday, and actually a couple days next week, we're going to see some pretty warm conditions out there. So because of that, we have issued a first alert weather day. Wednesday's the day we're really keeping an eye on, because Wednesday is the best shot for temperatures to be in the 90s for a good chunk of Western Washington. We'll get into the details of that in just a moment. But first, to review that first alert weather day, it's for Wednesday. This is going to be for pretty much everybody in Western Washington because of those daytime highs in the 80s and low 90s, and overnight lows don't bring us a lot of relief. We'll keep our lows in the 60s. So we want to just put that on your radar now. You'll want to plan ahead, find ways to stay cool. If you don't have AC, find somewhere with AC to venture to, or hey, maybe it's a good time to invest in one of those portable AC units. I know I have one in my home. Let me tell you, it's handy. As we head into your Sunday, temperatures are going to continue that climb. So Sunday is definitely going to be warm, not quite as warm as Wednesday though. So we're not issuing that first alert weather day, but we do want you to be ready for this sunny, warm Sunday. Here are our highs up to the north, Skagit, Whatcom counties, mostly in the 80s, a few areas in the 70s, the higher elevations. Marble Mount, look at that, looking to touch that 90-degree threshold. The San Juans will be warmer, but still cooler than that, of course. So in the 70s as you're in those water adjacent areas. Same thing for Island County. We're in the 70s. A good chunk of Snohomish County is in the mid to upper 80s. We could see some 90s popping up in Snohomish County, especially as we head east into the foothills. Same thing for King County. Look at that. Auburn looking to dance right around that 90-degree threshold. I would not be surprised if we hit it. Same thing for Kitsap County, well into the 80s. Mid to upper 80s are likely for your Sunday. Farther south, this is where we're going to see our warmest temperatures. This is where we have the best shot at 90s for your Sunday. So here are our highs for Sunday. For the Pearson-Thurston County regions, those are going to be, low 90s expected, so a little bit warmer than what we felt today. And as you're heading down I-5, also we're looking at low 90s, but if you are looking to cool off, head to the coast. 60s are expected for our south coast and then into the north coast as well. Through the Strait of Juan de Fuca, we're looking at 70s. Hood Canal is well into the 80s, and we could see some 90s as well in places like Shelton, a little bit farther south down there. So yes, certainly going to be warm, and eastern Washington is even more warm. 90s is nice. Triple digits is the reality for most in eastern Washington. So if you are heading to the east for the weekend, for the rest of your weekend, get ready for those triple digits over in eastern Washington. Yes, it is definitely going to be a toasty one. An hourly breakdown of your day shows that we have a lot of sunshine on tap. We did break up to some gray skies Saturday morning. We could see a little bit Sunday morning, but really it's going to be sunny from start to finish. It'll be a pleasant day as far as skies are concerned. Just those pesky 80s. It'll be warm. We do have a couple watches, warnings, and advisories that have been issued. Many of these are heat and fire risk related. Let's talk heat first. So hot temperatures have prompted some alerts. We have a heat advisory everywhere in orange here. This is going to be for Monday, it'll end Monday evening for most of us in that orange. Temperatures, like I showed you, into those triple digits, so certainly hot. We'll see that down to the south as well. This red area down here in the Portland metro area and south of that as well is an extreme heat watch. This is actually for a little bit later on. This is for Tuesday afternoon through Wednesday evening. So that just means we're keeping an eye on this heat, and I do expect this to be upgraded to a warning, and that's because those temperatures temperatures will also be in the triple digits as we head into the next couple of days. So that's into Wednesday. Like I showed you, that's our first alert weather day. We'll talk about that more in a moment, but we also have some increased fire concerns that we're keeping an eye on. The National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning. That's everybody in pink here. This is for Sunday afternoon because of those hot, dry, and windy conditions. We have a very, very dry air in the teens and 20s, and we could see some gusty winds in the 20s and 30s. And so what that means is should a fire start, it will spread quickly. It's that time of the year. We know that it's summer, so just extra precautions. Please take them, especially in this area here, but everybody should be taking those precautions this time of the year. The tan areas here, you see a little bit expanding that into the east. That's a fire weather watch, so it's a step below that. This is going to be for Monday afternoon. Same thing, hot, dry, windy conditions are expected. So that's your Sunday. Let's talk about Monday, because Monday is actually going to be our brief period of sweet relief. We have some clouds that are rolling in. This is Monday, 9 a.m., widespread clouds. We actually could squeeze out a little bit of drizzle on Monday morning. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll fine tune that as we get a little bit closer, but just to be ready for a little bit of a cool down on Monday. And then into Monday evening, we're still holding on to some clouds. We'll start to see some clearing from the north first, but widespread clouds look to stay strong during the day on Monday, but we'll still see temperatures on the warmer side. Here's our highs for Monday. We're mostly in the 70s, low to mid to upper 70s, depending on where you are. So it actually might feel a little bit muggy out there. It'll feel more like the East Coast than the West Coast on Monday. But this is our break from the heat. So that's your break to take a breather and don't melt. Tuesday will start to warm things up a little bit more, but I do want to point your attention to Wednesday, because Wednesday is our first alert weather day. Wednesday, we have 80s and well into the 90s for many of us in Western Washington. So I showed you your Sunday forecast. We did have some 90s, but they were mostly down to the south. We're going to introduce more 90s into a good chunk of Kitsap and King County. So we have a lot more people who are going to be feeling those 90s, and we'll bring those 80s much farther north as well as we head up straight into British Columbia. Temperatures will be into the 80s. So it'll be certainly warm out there. For the lowlands, a good, highest populations are in a good chunk of Puget Sound. So a lot of people are going to be feeling this heat stress on Wednesday. And another reason that we have this concern is because when you look at these overnight lows, we oftentimes see lows in the 50s, and that's a nice break. We can open those windows up at night and get some of that cool air, some of that sweet relief. But Wednesday, we're still going to see lows that are in the 60s, and actually a couple days this week we'll see lows in the 60s. So not as much relief overnight, and that is part of the reason we call that heat risk. That is what happens when you don't get to find that break and your body doesn't get that breather and you don't get that relief. So that elevates that concern for heat illnesses. So just a good thing to keep in mind. Your body will be stressed on Wednesday. It is going to be warm. Yes, it's sunny. Yes, it's summer. Yes, this is not necessarily unusual for this time of the year, but it still can be dangerous. So we do want you to know that this is heading our way, so that we do have that first alert weather day that has been issued. But that is an in-depth look at your 7-day forecast. Be sure to stay with the King 5 weather team for the next couple of days as we fine-tune these details and keep an eye on this hot summer weather that is here.